Hi guys, how are we doing again? I'm the Cakesmith and I'd just like to welcome you back to my channel. So today we're actually going to be trying something that I've never tried before, something new, so we can take this opportunity to learn together, see what works, see what doesn't work. But we're going to be making sausage rolls. I've been looking around different recipes and I've sort of come to a combination of things that I really like as an idea of going into sausage rolls. It looks like it's very heavily open to interpretation. You can do whatever flavours, ingredients really work for you. But I'm going for one that is got some nice sort of smoky, porky flavours in there. So what we've got here is a small finely diced onion and a finely diced carrot mixed together because we're going to fry that off in some delicious smoked bacon grease. Oh. So just roughly just short of one packet of bacon, about 200 grams. I've got a feeling you don't particularly need to be exact for this, but then we've got 1 tablespoon of chopped parsley. We've got 2 minced garlic cloves. I'm going to plonk a little bit of Worcester sauce in there. Some fennel seeds, probably about a teaspoon of fennel seeds. A little bit of barbecue sauce again for that extra additional sweet smoky flavour. You're going to use some panko breadcrumbs to help soak up all that excess fat during the cooking so it stays nice and juicy. And I think that's more or less it. We've got some good quality pork sausages that we're going to use as our sausage meat sauce. So really what we need to do is start by chopping and frying the bacon, then the onion and the carrot and the garlic, get all that nice and cooked through and delicious, and then it's on to just making the mixture, and from there we'll make the pastry while the mixture cools. Right, so let's crack on with that. A little bit of choppy. With this I would probably recommend using a good quality, or at least decent quality dry cured bacon, not a wet cured bacon, just because I feel like you don't really want that excess moisture in the recipe. You might want a bit of your fat and a bit of your grease, but you just don't want that curing liquid in there. Should probably address why I look a little bit uncouth at the minute. I was sort of considering not shaving for the length that we're in isolation, just for the fun of it. I don't know, it's not very fun, but I've decided that I'm probably just going to shave it off because it's getting a little bit out of control. Not that I can really grow much of a beard, it's a little bit depressing, but still. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to fry this off. We'll do it in our trusty cast iron pan. So, cast iron, medium heat, medium high maybe, depending on how you feel. Probably just medium though, you don't want your bacon to burn. So just a little bit of oil, you don't want too much, there's going to be a lot of fat in the bacon. I prefer just a little bit of oil just to stop it sticking. Apologise if all you can hear is the dogs barking in the background. You've probably seen a leaf move across the garden or something. Like a very overactive burglar alarm. Right, so let's plonk your bacon in there. Just keep an eye on it. You don't want it, you want it to try and cook quite evenly. You want to get some nice crispy bits. Put the garlic in there. All you need is about 30 seconds just to awaken that nice delicious garlic flavour. You don't want to burn it. Right, our first 30 seconds up. Let's get this out, plonk it back into a bowl. Oh well. We're going to do, we're going to plonk it into our bowl where we're going to mix all the rest of our ingredients. So what have we got here? We've got our mixture that we've just fried up, bacon, onions, carrots, garlic. Look at that, oh it's so good. So what we want to do next is we want to put the rest of our ingredients into this bowl, mix it all together. Then we'll get started on this pastry while we just leave that to just sit and settle. Panko breadcrumbs. The recipe I'm using says half a cup. I don't actually have a physical measuring cup, but this is roughly about the same size. Again, I think in life, in cooking, this isn't bacon right now. This doesn't need to be perfectly exact. About half cup of some panko breadcrumbs going into the mixture. We'll pop our chopped parsley into the mixture. Get some delicious fennel seeds. Put 1 teaspoon of fennel seeds in there. Smells delicious. Oh, you know, I'm just going to measure it with my hand, bugger it. So let's just do it. Look, about roughly 1 teaspoon. Plonk them in there. Worcester sauce for that delicious umami flavour. About a tablespoon. You know what? I'm going to measure this one. About a tablespoon of this very umami Worcester sauce. We'll put a little bit of barbecue sauce in there. Get a nice, decent barbecue sauce, I suppose, with a good smoky sort of flavour. But I suppose you can use whatever you prefer. This one's quite sweet and quite umami. Let's plonk some of that in there. Ooh, about 2 tablespoons, or just until you feel like you've had enough of getting it in there. Right, so that's in there. Then we want plenty of salt and pepper. Where have I put you? There you go. I know you're supposed to use some good quality, like sort of kosher salt, that type of thing. I'm not to that level of chef yet, just use what you've got. About 3/4 teaspoon of salt. Nice and salty, and get those taste buds going. Get it tasting nice and umami. Plenty of cracked black pepper. Black pepper makes everything taste delicious. Right, one thing we haven't done yet is we haven't de-skinned the sausages. If you can just find just sausage meat, just use the sausage meat, go for it, but I couldn't, so I just got some good quality sausages instead. Sorry. There we go. Right, so just chop these, just so we can get them out of the skin. To be honest, I think you're supposed to just squeeze them out, but you know what? You're just doing what feels right. Doing what feels right now in this moment. There we go. Oh, 1 sausage. These are just plain pork. It looks like they've got a little bit of seasoning in there, as you typically would expect from a pork sausage. But otherwise, they're as plain as I could get them, because you want all the flavours to be brought out, the ones that you've popped in there. Especially for you. So I was going to try and avoid touching this with my porky hands, but you can see you've got the full mixture in there, you've got a bit of everything in there, and you just want to get your hands in there. One more thing that we spent ages trying to find this morning in this dystopian future that we live in: eggs. 1 egg as well in there, just to help distract as a binding agent. There we go, right. So what we're doing is we're just mixing everything together just to make your sausage meat, basically, this filling that you're going to have in your sausage rolls. Just mixing everything together, make sure everything is well and truly mixy, creating a nice little ball. This one does feel perhaps slightly liquid, if perhaps we didn't need that full egg in there. I don't know, like I've said before, I've not made this before. We'll see how it is at the end and we'll reevaluate, okay? Make sure you want to get all that delicious bacon in there. Yeah, that looks pretty damn good. So what I'll do is I'll leave that to sit while we get us pastry going. Don't want to waste any of this delicious porky gubbins. Right, so what we're going to do next is, now we've made our meat filling, and that's just chilling in the fridge, just sitting waiting for us to make the pastry. What we're going to do is, to be honest, probably maybe better off making the pastry first, if I'm honest, because it does need to chill in the fridge as well. But irrespective, as long as you've got no time constraints, it doesn't really matter. What we need to do now then is get started on the pastry. So we have some flour mixed with salt, about 300 grams of flour with about a teaspoon of salt. Put that into a bowl. We're going to make a rough puff pastry. So what we want there is we want about 50 grams of chilled butter. You want to get some butter freezing already, because you want to be able to grate that in between the layers. I'll put the quantities in the description. It's about 150 from memory, I can't remember exactly, but anyway, irrespective, let's get started. What you want to do is you want to put your butter into your flour mixture and crumble it together in your fingers as if you're making the top for an apple crumble. So put it in, just some small cubes of cold chilled butter and just crumble it between your fingers. And then what we've also got measured out is about 80 millilitres of chilled water with about ½ teaspoon of acid. In this case I've used plain unflavoured white vinegar, or you could use lemon juice. It's just to help keep it a little bit more tender, a little bit easier to roll out once you've chilled it. But for now it's just a matter of incorporating this butter, similar to how you would doing in making short crust dough, just rubbing it in. Totally honest, not really done this before, we're sort of learning as we go along. You've got to start somewhere, haven't you? So now the flour is incorporated into the flour and salt mixture. We want to start adding our liquid, just a little bit of time, roughly about a tablespoon at a time. Give it a little mix. You don't want your dough to be too dry or too wet at this point, so just better to be careful than not. Make a little well in the centre of your mixture, as so, if you can see that, and then just add your liquid in a little bit of time. I'm not sure, I think the well sort of fell out then as I lifted it up, but whatever. It doesn't matter. I'll work on trying to get a nice top-down view of what I'm doing as well. It should really complement the channel quite well. Do a little mixy needy. You know what, I think I'm going to actually need perhaps a little bit more liquid here. I've used what I've got and it's coming together roughly, but I've got a feeling I might need a little bit more. So let's bring it out onto our work surface. So, just bringing it out. Give it a slight knead, but not too much. The worst part about making something for the first time is not knowing exactly what to expect. But you can never improve without trying, so that's wondering if that's a little bit dry. But let's put this in the fridge. Let it rest now. Minimum 10 minutes rest time. We'll come back to it and see how it is. And we definitely don't want to do, because we don't want to have to make this again. Of course, flour is rarer than toilet roll in a minute. So we've got this dough that's rested. What we want to start doing now is we want to start incorporating the butter. So I want to get it into a sort of rough rectangle shape and then start rolling it out on a lightly floured worktop. Let's hope this is alright, otherwise we are done for. I think roughly about 6 inches by about 15 inches. So we've got our frozen butter, we've got it grated here. What you want to do is take half of this and you want to add it onto 2/3 of your, I've done this right, half of this, add this on to this 2/3 of here. So let's fold 1/3 of it over, meet in the middle. Let's fold that over till it meets in the middle. Let's compress it down, fold it over, fold it out, and then repeat the process one more time. You want to do it a couple of times, minimum 3, maximum 5. So you're creating those layers. Rolled out. You want to try and do it before the frozen butter has an opportunity to start melting. So second half of the butter now. Fold it over 1/3 and fold second half over. Make sure not to rip the dough. Press it down. Then I want to start rolling this out again. Let's do it total of 5 times. We don't need to add any more butter now, we've just got to keep rolling it out and folding it over. We've already got the layers of butter incorporated, so we just need to keep rolling it out now and incorporating more layers into the mix. Right, final fold time. And what we'll do now is we'll leave that to chill in the fridge. Wrap it in some cling film, leave it to rest for at least 30 minutes. Leave it to chill out again, stop that butter from melting. So I've put the pastry in the fridge. We're going to leave that to cool down, minimum 30 minutes. Then we'll get our sausage mix and we'll get the pastry back out and we'll craft our sausage rolls. In the meantime, let's get the oven preheated, 180 degrees. Right, okay, cool. Let's get our dough out now. Now it's chilled. Feels hard and stiff. Just how we like it. You can see we've got the layers there. Let's get this rolled out, ready for putting our filling on. Where's the roly-poly gone? There it is. Right. I suppose we'll just give it a light dusting. We don't want it to stick and be ruined at this point. We've come too far now. I think what we'll try and do is we'll get it rolled out thin enough so that we can put like a long line of filling down and fold it over and then just cut it into little sausage rolls from there. I'm aiming for probably about 1/2 centimetre thickness, that seems about right. Let's do this. Right. I think we're looking alright. That's what, probably about 40 centimetres by about 15, something like that. Right. Let's put this filling down there. You could probably consider piping it on or rolling it up, using some cling film into a nice sausage. Don't know, we'll just go a bit rustic on it, we'll see what happens. Go on, let's put the filling in. Go all the way up to the edge. Right, so hopefully we've rolled it out thin enough that we're going to be able to wrap it around. This is a chunky bad boy, ain't it? Let's have a look, see how this is this. Yeah, we're perhaps a little bit short on mixture there. We should have maybe rolled that just a little bit thinner, but let's just, we can't sort out now. So we want to put a little bit of egg wash down here, fold the slip over, press it down, that should hopefully seal it. Yeggy. Let's fold this over, fold it over and tuck it in nicely. Look at that, oh yeah, get it tucked in, like you're putting it to bed. There we go, squash it in, get everything nice and sealed off. Give it a little push down just so you're definitely sealing that eggy joint. What we'll do is we'll cut through it, then before separating it off we'll egg wash the whole thing and then we can hand each one off onto our baking tray. I'd probably put some baking parchment down, you probably should, but we're out at the minute. Let's put a bit of tin foil on there. What we'll do is we'll grease the tin foil, so then it'll reduce the chance of it sticking. Get the tin foil on. just put a little bit of oil on there. Rub it on with your hands, just spread it out, give yourself a nice little layer of oil. And that should just stop your little piggy rolls from sticking too much. So let's cut it. How thick should we do? I think about 3 centimeters width should do. Try and cut through it as gentle as possible, try not to drag the pastry or the mixture. Remember, sausage rolls seem pretty open to interpretation, so if you want to do thicker ones, do thicker ones. If you want to do thinner ones, if you want to do one big long sausage roll, go for it. Do whatever feels right to you at the time. So egg wash the whole thing so it'll brown nice in the oven. Right, so let's very carefully pop them onto our baking tray. That's it. So hopefully at this point you've got your oven preheated to 180 as I mentioned before, and plonk them in. Let's do it. So that is the middle shelf at 180 for about 30 minutes. Keep an eye on them, but there's probably not much you can do, just wait till they're looking pretty damn good and cooked through. So we're done. 30 minutes, took them out, looking absolutely beautiful. Look at them bad boys. Look, how good does that look? Let's just give one a little try and we'll give a little rundown and see how it tastes. Right, sweet. So one thing I did notice during cooking was a little bit of butter leaking out onto the tray. I'm sure that's just down to practice, probably the butter wasn't chilled enough, but at the same time it looks flaky, it looks delicious, so let's break it in half. So we've got a good amount of filling there, cooked through, looking pretty tasty. So let's have a little taste then, see what it tastes like. Butter is crisp, it melts in the mouth, you've got a nice warmth, a smokiness, it's lovely. You can't argue with it. Maybe, I don't know, maybe a few changes you could possibly. Maybe put a little bit more black pepper in there, a little bit of crushed chilli if you want a little bit of heat to it. But sausage rolls are this delicious, stodgy, warming food, so yeah, you can't complain. So I feel that, all in all, that was pretty much a complete success. There's always a couple of things that you might want to tweak, a couple of things you might want to refine, but maybe cut them a little bit wider so they sit a little bit better in the oven. A couple of them did fall over, but at the same time they're still cooked really well. So you can make them a little bit smaller, you could do them all as one if you really wanted to, but all in all the flavour was solid, the pastry turned out really well, and I'm really happy with how they turned out, so yeah, I hope you enjoy making them. Catch you next time. Here you go.